I was born in Bolton, that's in Lancashire,
Yeah,
in 1935.
excellent. And where did you spend your childhood?
Where did I spend what?
Where did you spend your childhood?
In Bolton?
Okay. So, teddy bears. Did you have a teddy bear?
No.
No, not at all. Okay, we'll move right on. How about dolls? Did you play with any
No.
dolls? No. Excellent. Shortest interview ever. How about construction toys? Did you play with any construction toys?
Well, I had one or two things like forts that you could take apart and build up again when you needed them again.
So tell me about them.
But you must remember, I was brought up in the war, and there weren't many toys around in them days, you know.
So what did you used to play with then?
Nothing really. I've got to be honest with you. There were so few toys around, and I came from a pretty bad area, like a low working class area, and
Yeah.
we didn't have much in the way of toys. We used to improvise. I used to use, if you had a stick, it became a gun.
Yeah.
If you had you could turn a chair over and it became a tank and things like that, you know.
So you used normal objects to make them and pretended that they were other
Yes,
things.
that's right, yeah.
Okay.
I had a fort which you could take apart and do, and a few lead soldiers, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what sort of games did you play in your fort then?
War games, really, you know. Some of the tin soldiers attacked the fort and some defended it. Oh, rather childish, but of course that's what toys are for, aren't they?
Definitely.
Children. Mm.
So were there any toys that you saw that you wanted that you never got, or like did you see an advert for a toy that you really wanted?
Well, no, you see, they didn't have things like that during the war. Well, not in the area that I lived in, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not being much use to you, am I?
No, it's fine.
You're being loads of use.
You'll be in loads of use.
Because actually, I think that talking about people not having many toys or not really having toys is just as interesting as a list of loads of toys.
Mm.
So did you know, obviously you didn't have many toys, you improvised. What sort did you play as a child?
Well, we mainly played out in the street, to be honest with you. We played, well, you know, we played football and kick-out ball and all that. You know, you won't know all that, you know, young women like you, but we didn't really have anything to play with. We would just improvise things. We had a string with a tin can tied on the end of it. Somebody stood in the middle of the ring and turned it, and we all hit it with sticks as it went by. And they called it slap can. And if you hit the string instead of the can, you had to go in the middle and spin it round.
Okay.
You see, those are silly games we used to play.
But I think play's not all about toys, is it? It's not about toys and what you buy in shops. It's about playing with your
We had
friends.
to improvise.
Yeah.
There just wasn't the toys around in them days.
But also, I mean, I think if none of you had toys, so
Well, I don't. All my friends, little boys, I don't think none of them had much in the way of toys, you know. As I say, lead soldiers, they were pretty popular, and you could get them, and you could. Well, I can't really think of any other toys I had apart from a few lead soldiers and this fort. Oh, and a rocking horse, a little rocking horse, yeah.
And
Okay.
how did you get the rocking horse? Was it made for you, or did someone
No, it
else
was just.
make it?
No, I think it just came down through the family.
Oh, okay.
When somebody had finished using it, they passed it on to the next youngest one, you know.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of stories of hand-me-down toys, but across the generations as well. So.
Sorry, I'm not quite hearing you. No.
No, sorry, it's me. I'm not talking up loud enough. We've got a lot of stories of hand-me-down toys from
Yeah.
all the different generations that we've been talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So it's very common or popular.
That rocking horse, if I still had it, it probably worth a fortune now in the second-hand world, you know.
Do you remember what happened to the rocking horse?
No, I don't really. It probably just got
Probably got passed
given
to the
on
next
given on to somebody else when I
Yeah.
outgrew it. Mm.
So you said, obviously, you know, you didn't have dolls or anything like that. Did you have any friends or sisters who had dolls or played
No,
with
no. You see, this is the problem.
things they pretended were
You see, our
people?
family, my family were boys,
Okay.
so we didn't have any dolls at all. So we didn't have no dolls at all.
Yeah.
But I know one or two of the girls who I grew up with had dolls, you know. They used to have dolls with plastic eyes that moved about, you know, you've seen them sort of things, haven't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously not something that ever interested you.
Well, no, you know, we weren't interested in dolls, we were getting ready to go in the army.
Of course.
Mm.
So, you said Bolton you grew up in.
Bolton, yeah.
So, yeah, city, town, playing in the streets, not the countryside.
No, not the countryside at all, no. No, we didn't have, we didn't go to the country very much, we grew up in the back streets of Bolton.
Mm.
Mm.
So, did you find yourself actually just playing with what was in the streets, as you say, tin cans, string?
Yeah, yeah,
Just-
yeah. Oh yeah, played with all them sort of thing. There's some lovely games, but you wouldn't know what I'm talking about if I told you about them. And anyway, you don't want to know about that, do you?
Oh, I do.
You do.
I do. Yeah, go on, tell me.
There's one game called Piggy,
Mm.
and you got a piece of wood about 2 or 3 inches long, and you sharpen one end so that it looked like a bullet, and then you put it on the stone, and then you hit the sharp end, and it used to shoot up in the air, and then you hit it if it come up, and
Okay.
it went so far. And if I were playing with you, I'd say, like that's 5 yards away, I'll give you four jumps to reach it, and if you reached it, you got the 4. If you didn't reach it, I got the 4.
Okay, got you.
Mm.
That makes sense to me.
And of course there were lots of hipper chipper Charlie things that we could dance round a maypole, you know, all that sort of thing. Mm. I don't think I'm being any use to you girls, am I really?
No, you are, because it's interesting to us to find out about toys outside of our remit. So we're very constrained on the project to the dolls, bears and the construction toys. So it's interesting to find out all the games that you played.
I'll tell you what I
outside
did
of
have. I'll tell you what I did have. I suddenly remembered. It was a, excuse me, about a foot high, and it was a sailor
Okay.
with a, you know, the round hat that sailors have. I was dressed as a sailor, and you took the bottom off when you bought it, and it was full of sweets.
Okay.
And you ate the sweets, and then put the bottom back on, and then you could do what the devil you wanted with it, you know. I can't remember what I used to do with that, but I had it for quite a long time. Mm. So that was a doll, wasn't it, really?
That's a doll.
Yeah.
Mm.
Toy soldiers as well, you could probably class them as dolls, I would have, I think.
And have you may have seen some of these, you girls being in the museum. It was always a coloured lad, just a bust of the coloured fella, and it was a money box. And you put his hand was like that,
Yeah.
and you put a coin in it, and you press the lever on this side of him, and you put it in his mouth. And that was the.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
Have you seen them?
I have.
Yeah.
Mm. Don't leave it in there long though. You should unscrew the bottom and take the money out when you need it. So. Well, can't think of anything else offhand unless
No?
you jog my memory.
I haven't got any other questions.
Okay.
No, I was interested to know what other sorts of games you played, like Piggy, where you made your own toys specific to the game that you were going to play. 'Cause you said you had to sharpen
we
the
played
stick.
cowboys and Indians. You know.
Yeah.
You got a bit of wood and that with your gun, you know. Excuse me.
Did you ever get the means to make anything bigger, like a go-kart or anything like that?
I like a what?
Like a cart, like a orange box cart or something
Well,
like
I'll
that?
tell you what we used to have, what we called trolleys. They were 4 wheels and a plank with a bit of seating on it. We used to have them. But of course they were out of the street again, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
That still counts as construction toys because you're still building it. So we can use that information, don't worry.
No.
Did you used to race each
I don't
other?
think I'm very much used to you ladies.
I
you
do.
know.
Oh,
I do. I love carts.
Yeah. Did you used to race each other, or did you?
Used to what?
Did you used to race each other on your carts?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 And we were speaking to somebody earlier on about the brakes that they used to use, and was that the same for you? Just use your feet. No way of
Well,
stopping.
yeah, you just put your foot down.
Yeah.
Because I know I was.
That used to ruin your.
Yeah, your mother must
Your
have been very
irons on your
pleased about
clothes.
that.
But we loved that because it used to make sparks as you went along, you know.
Oh, of course, iron clogs.
Mm. We had leather clothes with irons on them, and if you went like that, it made sparks. But of course, it rubbed the metal down quicker than just ordinary walking. And you used to get a clip round the ear, or if your mum or your dad saw you.
No, I know we were interviewing someone a while ago who must be in his 30s.
Who do you mean?
Well, this
Who was talking about go-karts, and he said they used to stick a stick in the wheel sometimes to make it stop. And it was the same thing. They made their own go-karts.
And some of the lads who were a bit cleverer than myself, they put some sort of a brake on it if they think of a way of doing that, you know. But my go-karts, I used to just put my foot off floor, you know.
Yeah.
Ah,
Any other thoughts, anyone?
sorry.
I was just asking Dan any other questions.
No, I was just wondering if, because you didn't have any toys, you didn't have very many toys to play with, but you had siblings that you could play with. So did you find that you spent your time with your siblings and you didn't really care about not having toys because you had other company? Do you think it would have been different if you'd been an only child and not had any toys?
I don't suppose I give much thought to having more toys. I just had what you had, you know, the sailor thing and the fort and that sort of thing. You know, that's all I ever had, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think my mates had much more. And I used to, I'll tell you what we used to do, but of course this is again, it's outside. If you could get hold of a tyre, a car tyre, all the kids had these tyres, we used to roll them around the streets all the time. Everywhere you went, you know, they got this damn tyre with us, you know. You ever heard of that? Tyres? Being rolled around the streets? Well, you girls probably know more about it. Anya and the gent probably know more about toys than I'll ever know.
We've got quite a few in the museum, so quite possibly.
Yeah. Just a matter of interest, where is the museum?
Under Brighton Station, at the top.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
In the railway arches.
Is that open to the public occasionally?
It is Tuesday to Saturday, 10 till 5.
Oh, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
Are we finished?
Well, I'm done.
I think I'm done, unless there's anything else you want to tell us.
Well, I can't think of anything else, dear.
Okay,
If I'd have had any warning, I might have had a list this long, but...
We did throw it at you rather, but I think it's
sorry,
really,
I've not been any more help.
I think
No,
I'm going to
you-
keep saying you have
You
been.
specifically wanted about toys, and I don't know much about toys.
But what you have done is you've talked about building things out in the street, which I think is construction, even if it's not a bought construction toy, it's construction. And it's really nice to have someone who's been able to share those sorts of memories.
One thing we used to get occasionally were balsa kits for making aeroplanes and things like that.
Okay.
Everybody used to have them sort of things. They were one of the sort of things you could get during the war, you know. And then you used to hang them up on the roof as if you were flying, you know.
Yeah.
Right,
You didn't actually fly them then?
Oh no. No, I suppose some of them were sophisticated enough to do that, but not me personally. I used to hang them up with a bit of string and so that it looked like they were in the air, you know.
So just balsa wood, not the I know my brother used to do them with balsa wood and tissue paper.
It's what, sorry?
Tissue paper.
Tissue paper?
Yeah. Yeah, some people used to put tissue paper on wings as well.
Well, I suppose it is. And then, of
Yeah.
course, you got the kites. You know what kites are, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody had a kite because you could make them out of a few bits of wood and some, as you say, tissue paper and a ball of string. Simple things, you know, not like today. Can I just make an observation about, there were some people who were into toys and they gave this is a few years ago, and they gave the toys to a group of children, and they also gave them some foam sort of dolls and all that you could twist in, and the children preferred when you could tie their arm in a knot and all that rather than wind the thing up. Yeah, I remember that.
There's a joke.
Mind you, that's only a few years ago. I was grown up by then.
There's a joke about the favourite present at Christmas being the boxes that all the toys have come in. And I remember one Christmas, one of my cousins was playing with the toy out the Christmas cracker, and she was more interested in that than her toys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my children we give them a present when they were little, and they always play with the boxes rather than what would have been in the boxes.
Because I think when you're playing with the boxes, you can decide for yourself what the toy is and what you're going to do with it and what it's going to be. It's not telling you this is a doll and you must play with it in this way. It's up to you.
You should just make it a box and you make a building out of it or something, you know.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.